Hello, Yulia. Today's topic is intriguing. I'm a real novice. I'm not sure I can follow this, but let's try. So, the topic is
Today we're going to talk about dimensional shift on this planet and what that means. What does it mean to shift dimensions?
well, I sure would like to know. So, please begin.
Yes. So we can refer dimensions to chakras, to simplify that. So if you think of the first chakra, second chakra, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and above, and all of those chakras, they related to the level of consciousness or level of awareness and embodiment of that. So for instance, if you just aware of first three places, you're mostly living from survival, and survival always will involve some level of fear. So let's say the first chakra will be responsible for your shelter and basic needs, shelter, food. The second is for your emotional engagement, societal approval, acceptance from peers. And the third is for power.
Before you go on, please tell me the location of the chakras you're talking about.
The first one is the root chakra, it's at the base of your spine.
Okay.
The second one is your navel. And the third is the solar plexus. And that's the chakra of inserting your personal will, meaning that you have a personal will, to climb out of crisis. You have a personal will to make choice. You have a personal will. It's about me. It's about me. So I can provide for myself. I can find job. I can take care of my children. So it's finding that power of making your will happen.
So, I always understood it to be the seat of the ego.
Well, yes, exactly. So all those three chakras, they function from more fear that there is not enough and it's up to me, go and get it. And because it's up to me, go and get it, we have to use different coping mechanisms of either manipulating the environment or like let's say everybody needs love, right? So then your ego will try to make it happen either through manipulation or seduction or some kind of a mechanism that will eventually fail. So everything that we do from ego will eventually fail. So it's a very dualistic perspective. So you either inflate yourself or you're inferior. So you either have to inflate yourself or act inferior to get something. Or you become a victim or you become a saver.
Well, that's interesting, Yulia. I'm going back to a comment my former guru made, which has to do with the ego. And if you say, I'm not good enough, that's an ego statement, and it's as strong as I'm wonderful. So both times the ego is involved.
Exactly, and it's the same coin. It's the same coin, just the flip side. And neither one is true, right? Because we are who we are. We are who we are, and that leads to, that's the ego consciousness of victims, savior, prosecutor, perpetrator. But unified consciousness, dimensional shift starts when you go into the heart and above. So in the heart, that's where the unified consciousness starts, when we accept the duality. So as soon as we start accepting the duality, we start shifting into our heart in unified field, which is we're bridging the inferior and dominating parts, or victim and prosecutor comes together because we have compassion. So that's where when we see those human parts acting out, as soon as we bring compassion to that, we actually creating a unified field of consciousness. So dimensional shift from the third dimensional reality, first, second, and third into the heart. That's where the dimensional shift starts happening. And as a globally, we actually we are in the process of shifting from that, DNA programming into the frequency change of the heart.
So basically, you're saying the heart chakra allows us to go into a different dimension.
Exactly.
I see.
Yes, and the dimension where we don't perceive ourselves separate from each other. The judgment says, here's this, I'm this, and here's this. So it separates us from each other. Like I'm this, I'm not that. I'm this, he is this. This, it separates. It creates diverse. Instead of diversity, separation. So divisiveness. It creates divisiveness where the heart unifies and inclusive everything, and it starts that each human being has all the energies inside of us. We have superior, we have inferior, we have dominance, we have control. All of those energies everybody embodies, and when we start unifying yourselves, meaning accepting and bring compassion to those energies, this is where they shift into love. And then, if we talk about above, the fifth dimension got to do with expression, and that's where the unified field of consciousness of love happening, that we all interconnected. And we are all interconnected in love. So, the third dimensional reality is we connect in getting something from each other. I use you uses me, you manipulate me, but the fourth and above, fifth, is the interconnection that we already love, that we already come from the same source. We all connected in love. We're all part of the thread of this unified consciousness that we connected. And when we come from that place that I am love, rather than go and trying to get love, which is the third dimensional consciousness, trying to manipulate, And if I come from the statement, I am love, an embodiment of that frequency of love, of source within me, and then I connect with other people in that realm and share that, my essence, my soul connection, my connection to myself, when I'm coming from that place, life looks very different.
Yes, it does. Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much, and I think I understand now.